Well, hello everybody. So, what's been happening, huh? To be fair, I've not been doing much on this van. The roof's kind of in, it's being supported by this extendable post. We've got the floor runners bolted to the floor, and I'm actually at the point where I'm bolting in the I've screwed the battens in, which are just simple, nice and easy battens. There's going to be 25mm Celotex going underneath those. Not ideal, but it'll do. I can't get my XPS in there, which is a shame, so the Celotex will do the job. Yeah, 50mm Celotex in the walls, which work perfect. As you can see, they're the perfect height, pretty much. It'll work fantastic for what I want. 50mm Celotex on the roof as well. Just in the process of making a batten to start off my bulkhead. This batten's going to go across there somewhere. I really want to... people have been telling me that you can move the seat forward. The passenger seat can be moved forward. Apparently there's two sets of bolts and you can put them into the next bolts along, which is one thing that I really want to do. If I can do that, that would be incredible, because as you can see here, this seat does stick out a little bit, and the more space I bring that in, the less I'll have to bring the bulkhead out, because the idea of the bulkhead is it's going to go, follow the backs of the seat up, do a bit of a turn, and then come straight up. My plan is to make it so that a section of the bulkhead can slide down and then be stowed behind the seats, and then pulled up and then locked into place with some magnets to stop it from dropping. Build a little runner system up for it. I reckon it'll work quite nice, that. And then obviously at the top there's going to be a nice storage area for various things. I've got the light on my camera actually, I didn't realise, but it's probably needed. That door's broken. You can open that door, but you have to pull this rod above my finger. You have to pull that to get the door to work, because if you just pull the lever on the top of the door, this thing above my finger, which you normally pull to open it, it doesn't work. No matter where you have the lock up or down or whatever, it just doesn't work. It's like it's not connected to anything inside the mechanism, so I may have to drill that out. It's on pot rivets. There's my phone. It's on pot rivets, so I may have to drill those pot rivets out and pull that off and source another one, or try and repair that one. We'll see. Batten wise, I'm just using what is it again? 25mm battens, I do believe. Is it 25mm, or are they a bit thicker? I can't remember now. Whatever. And as you can see here, there's a bit of funkiness going on because that batten's higher than the other. It's because I've not got a batten on that side. I'm not sure what I'm doing about that at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to make it so the floor slopes downwards, which would be probably more ideal, and screw the wooden floor to the batten, and then have it so it slopes downwards, which would be nice. But then I've got the issue of these runners and trying to get that all to look good. I don't know how I'm going to do it. There'll be a way somehow, but we'll see what I can do. Yeah, these seat runners are bolted in. In fact, I could just go underneath and show you, couldn't I? I really could go underneath and show you. Let's have a look. I'll show you on the backs, because the backs are more easy. Let me get down on this floor. I'm enjoying this weather. There you go. I'm not very good welding, mind you, but I don't think they're going to pull through the floor anytime soon. They are welded in too. I've got some horrific rust in here, look. It's not as bad as the rust in there. Look at that kidder right there, look. Got to sort that out somehow. Well, I'm under here. I can have a look at my screws that's come through the floor, look. There we go. So I've got to do something with those, paint them up, because I don't want them guys to start rusting. No, it's not so much the screws that are going to rust, because they're galv. It's the holes that the water's going to wick up through. So I'm going to put underseal around those, or Dynex. Dynex probably, then underseal. We'll see. I'm not at that stage yet, but this van's not going to be on the road for a while, so no water's going to get on them for now. Oh, that's why that one was really hard to go in, because it's gone through. Huh. Yeah, every night I've been underneath this thing. I've been playing. Oh, I took the fuel tank off. Yeah, there you go. So much space under this thing without a fuel tank. Look at it. Took the fuel tank off because I need to get to the seat bolts underneath, and because the fuel tank on this thing, the carrier which holds the fuel tank in, the skeletal structure thing that holds the fuel tank in, was rotten along the front, so I'm going to have to rebuild that. Not a problem, but for now I'm not obviously too fussed about it. It can wait for now. Someone has been under here and greased all the brake lines, which concerns me a little bit. It means that it's had rusty brake lines, so that's why someone's done it. And I don't know, while I've got the fuel tank off, if I should just replace the lines for copper nickel. Because it's just so easy to do. I do really like doing brake lines. I really like brake lines. I think it's an amazing item to work with. So nice. Yeah, I really do need to do something about these screws that's come down. Be nice. You can see I've Dynaxed all in here, look. All this brown stuff in the cavities is all Dynax. And remember how I said that the sills were good? Yep, that's a big hole. The sills are not good. Thankfully it's only the backs of the sills. That one's the same, look. Oh well, should be able to fix that. Yeah, I'm actually surprised, 15-year-old van, you know, let's see how many bits of rust this thing's got, which is quite nice. Both sides, that one's bad, obviously, as you've seen. All underneath here is not so bad. And then up here as well, which as you can see is all rusted out. Which again, it's a bit of a setback, but I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Now my plan involves using like carpety flooring, rubber industrial carpets or something. You've got a fast car? Wow, and a very good subwoofer. It's making me shake. That's one thing I really like in this. I'd love it if I could get a subwoofer in this thing. I have got one in the garage. It's not doing anything at the moment. It's got a built-in amp and everything. It would be nice to get one in this. We'll see. Anyway, where are I? So, yeah. My plan is to try and encapsulate the wheel as much as I can. I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. I really want to make it so that I don't get any spray come up in this area. Yeah, or here. Because right here is where I'm going to put my battery bank. Maybe. We'll see. There might be a water tank that goes here. A small water and a small waste tank that goes here in this area. I don't know if you've noticed on these, but there is a lot of space, quite, you know, there, just underneath. Putting this pipe here back, you see all this space, like there's a bit of space here and some space here. Well, if I remove this support, that's quite a long space. In fact, there's another space in front of that. And I'm wondering if I can remove that support and put either a battery bank there, you know, even the weight out. You know, the batteries aren't going to weigh as much as I do, but it's always going to be me in this thing. I don't, you know, it's not very often I'm going to carry passengers, so I could have 4 gel cell batteries at 12 volts under this side of the van, and then encase it over with some plastic sheeting on some clips or something to make it nice and neat, and obviously to stop it anything splashing up against it. And maybe well, maybe it would, yeah, I think that would be actually quite good, because obviously I'm doing the 48 volts on this van. I know you're saying I'm crazy. Believe me, I think I'm crazy as well, but I've got a feeling I can make it work. Because I am putting a full-size miniature fridge in this thing with a compressor. And that's another thing I've got to try and find space for. Because underneath this van somewhere, I'm actually going to be putting the compressor for the fridge. The 48 volt compressor. And a little miniature radiator as well, to make it nice and compact. So there's plenty of space on this side. I mean, we've got the handbrake cable, but in front of that, say under where the driver's seat would be, there's space there. So I might be able to get it in there. The other thing I've got to watch out for, and thankfully right down at the end there, there is a nice space where I would assume the passenger seat would be. No, wait a minute, the passenger seat's there. Okay, I can see the bolt holes for what holds the passenger seat in there. So if that's the passenger seat, then I've got a nice little small space just between where that yellow connector is here, and just over here I've got a little gap. If I can judge it just right, I think I'll be able to get my diesel heater, the intake and the exhaust pipes just in there, because obviously they're going to get quite warm. It's going to cut it close to the fuel tank, but the fuel tank does bolt on just after that yellow connector. I think I will just manage to fit it in there. Just. I really do want the diesel heater obviously in this thing. Again, I'm not 100% sure about where I'm going to bolt the tank, but if I can, and this is a big if I can make the passenger seat come forward slightly, I think I will be able to fit one of the standard 10-litre tanks that these fuel heaters, these diesel heaters come with, behind the passenger seat, and then on obviously the bulkhead that I'm going to put in. I actually just subscribed to a chap who's just gone and brought one of these things. 5 days ago he uploaded a video where he was talking about what he's doing with the van. He's just took the plyboard lining out and things. I haven't seen the rest of his channel, I don't even know who he is, but if he's watching the video he'll know. He's got the Fiat Scudo version of this van, which I don't think has the spare wheel underneath this area, so all this for you is free space. One modification I would suggest, and it's one thing that I'm planning on doing with this, is putting the spare wheel on one of the doors. Now, obviously we've got to figure out what door it's going to go on, because the doors open in different thingies, but if you could get the spare wheel to bolt, say here, right in the middle, or maybe higher up, I don't know, it's always best to have the weight below, but otherwise you're going to be blocking your handle off. But if you could get the spare wheel up here somewhere, it would be quite nice to have that out of the way. Alternatively, just get yourself a roof rack. It's what I'm planning on doing with this thing, and believe me, my roof rack's going to be pretty crazy. There's going to be full of solar panels, a big storage box on the roof box. It's going to have solar panels on the roof of that as well. And yeah, all the crazy stuff that's going to go on this thing, because this van is going to be absolutely insane when it comes to electrics. It's going to be insane. It's going to be a fire hazard. It really is. So a brief talk on what's brief. This is going to be like another 20 minutes. But another thing on what I'm doing in this van, I'm going to have, and I've just brought a thing to help me do this, 48 volts, as you know. Keep going on about that. Some things are going to be running off the 48 volts. The fridge, the water pump, because I'm having a pressurised water system in this van, with hot water as well. More about that later on. Maybe some lighting. Yeah, the lighting as well is going to be 48 volts in this thing, which is going to be running around the roof in a channel LED strip. Two 24 volt LED strips running in series to make it 48 volts. And I'm going to try and run that down each side of the van. I don't think I'm going to bother doing it along the front, but we'll see. It's going to be more lighting here than anything. But I do obviously want this as a bit of a tinkering van as well, where I can, Yeah, I'm going to have a worktop here with my kitchen sink and everything in there, literally everything and the kitchen sink. It's going to come out to about here. I want it so that there's a certain worktop surface, 240 volts, which is going to be nice because obviously my inverter system on this van is going to be 48 volts. That thing there, basically. A big UPS system which is just shy of 3 kilowatts. So it's going to be more than adequate enough to run my my microwave, which I'm going to have, a grill oven microwave, my fridge with a combined freezer built into it. Like I say, I'm planning to put my fridge on the floor, the microwave just above it, or we'll see actually. I might actually build it higher so I can recess it in from this wheel arch, so it's probably going to go in as far as I can, up, and then above my microwave. It might stick out a little bit, but I think I can live with that. Microwave is going to be a flat and wide, made by Panasonic, I do believe they are. Microwave, it's got a grill, it's got all sorts in it. It's a very nice microwave. It's a proper, it's a kitchen in a box basically. It does everything. It's well nice. My UPS power supply down here should run that without any issues, because I'm pretty sure it only draws a maximum of 2,700 watts, which is what this thing down here draws continuously. Surge, it's got a surge of something like 4 kilowatts, which is nice, and the surge on that is acceptable for, I think it's 10 seconds, so it might get it warm, but it might not. We'll see. If I can make enough power during the day to keep the batteries charged up and then nuke me food, so to speak, in the evening, because I'm not having gas in this, which I'm probably going to regret, but I'm not having gas in this. I'm just going to go pure electric. We'll see how well that works out. I may have to just have sandwiches some nights, but with my ideas of the pull-out solar panels, which are going to be my canopies, I'm going to have canopies on this, which are going to be pull-out. So when I'm parked up, they're going to pull out 4 panels, which are going to be quite large. They're going to be really nice. Anyway, I need to crack on with this because time's a wasting, and I've been talking now for 17 minutes. Whoops, almost 18. Right, yeah. All right. You've heard enough about what I'm doing and what I've done. I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.